We are delighted to have reunited the Lamentation Altarpiece at Compton Verney. The bright colours and dramatic figures of this magnificent artwork captivate viewers today, just as they would have done when they were first made approximately 500 years ago. Such a long period of time, however, has obscured many of the details behind this artwork. When exactly was it made and why? Who commissioned it? And who was the artist? Historical sources and stylistic similarities have helped us narrow down likely answers to these questions, but much is still uncertain. The painting seems to have been made sometime between 1515 and 1530. The altarpiece is made up of 3 panels, 2 side panels depicting the saints St. Catherine and St. Barbara on the reverse, and St. Christopher and St. George on the front. These panels flank a central 3rd panel showing Christ being taken down from the cross. The female saints bear a date of 1519, and evidence of marbling is clear in the background. However, the other panels are undated and do not share this marbled effect. They may be from a different date or by a different artist altogether. The panels showing St. Barbara and St. Catherine have also been trimmed down, so if reassembled today, would no longer fully close over the central panel as intended. The style of the painting and the costumes worn by the figures suggest that the painting was made in Franconia, now modern-day Bavaria in Germany. Christine, one of our visitor engagement interpreters, has spent almost 15 years researching this painting, trying to unlock its secrets.
In order to recover the meaning and significance of the Lamentation altarpiece, we've had to try and piece together its history from its creation to the present day. The paintings were acquired for Compton Verney and by the National Gallery of Scotland, respectively, in the 1990s after they were sold in separate lots at auction. The triptych had been identified in 1768 when it was noted in the inventory of a collection of Christian Friedrich von Nebel in what is now Germany. Although he was aware of a potential explanation for its creation, we have not discovered any provenance for its history earlier than this date. We know the paintings were in the possession of the Prussian postmaster General Friedrich von Nagler until his death in 1846, when it was included in an auction in Berlin. We lose track of it after this, but it's possible that an unidentified dealer purchased them and conveyed them to Francis Derby in Shropshire for his collection. Then they appear briefly in a 1909 photograph of St. Martin's Church, Shropshire, then disappear again and are finally identified in 1928 when they were conveyed back to the church. Nicholas Pevsner, the famous art and architectural historian, noted the 3 panels in 1955, but his advice to have them sent to Sotheby's for examination was ignored until 1993, when the current vicar recognised their value. Von Nebel connected the painting with members of the Hohenzollern, Brandenburg, Ansbach rulers, Casimir, his wife Susanna of Bavaria, and his brother George the Pious. The costumes of the figures bear out this relationship, wearing the regalia of the Knights of the Order of the Swan, a public charity closely associated with this family. The similar appearance of one of the donors in the central panel and St. George strengthens the belief that the side panels showing the male saints and the central panel belong together and were likely by the same artist. If the altarpiece is associated with Casimir, George and Susanna, it would likely have been made to commemorate a significant event such as a marriage or death. Perhaps Casimir and Susanna's marriage in 1518 or Casimir's death in 1527. It may also have been a political statement made in the intervening years to declare the donor's position at the time of religious upheaval as the Catholic Church faced attacks from Protestant thinkers like Martin Luther.
With a narrower date range and potential patrons identified, we can consider the final piece of the puzzle, the artist. The central panel and depictions of the male saints owe something to the work of Albrecht Dürer, one of the most significant artists in the Northern Renaissance. There are stylistic similarities between St. George and the depiction of the same figure in the Paumgartner altarpiece, now in Munich, by Dürer. We can also see similarities between the greyhound at the foot of the donors in the Lamentation altarpiece and the greyhound in Dürer's depiction of St. Eustace. At one point, the central panel of the Lamentation altarpiece bore Dürer's monogram of an A and a D in the lower left of the panel, but this was proved to be a later addition and was removed during conservation in 1995. The female saints on the other side of the panel wings share similarities with the work of Lucas Cranach the Elder, particularly his depictions of slender, elongated women. This may suggest that the female saints were painted by a different artist. Stylistically, the panel cannot be directly attributed to either Dürer or Cranach, but was likely by an artist who knew their work. The rather dramatic pose of the Magdalene is not typical of Dürer or Cranach. One suggestion for the artist is Hans Baldung. Baldung had worked in Dürer's workshop. He knew Dürer's brother Hans, and also knew Cranach and visited his workshop. Whilst many of the questions do not have concrete answers, the research which has gone into this display has brought us even closer to unlocking the intriguing mysteries behind some of Compton Verney's most beloved paintings.